What up, guys? Alchemist, I got something nice for you. So, I have y'all. Y'all Alpha Strand build, I got you. So, the other day I made an icy hot build where we basically abused the artifact and made a stasis solar build fused together that does insane work in this game, right? For harder end content. Today, I wanted to make a fun Strand solar build because it's like Bungie wanted us to do it. Like, we had the solar and stasis thermodynamic siphon, and now we got solar strand dual siphon. So I was like, I'm finna make a Strand solar build. So we're using the new exotic chest piece for hunters called Moirai. And basically the exotic perk says web capture. Threaded spike can bounce the tangles, detonate them, returning immediately. Tangles detonated by threaded spike are rewoven and retrieved by it. Catches without a tangle refund extra melee energy. If you're wondering how to get the exotic chest piece, you gotta beat the story mode on legendary and then just get it out of your triumphs or whatever, right? So if you don't know what they mean by the description, basically what I mean is if you kill an enemy, not kill an enemy, but if you get a tangle and it get hit by the threaded spike, you'll get a tangle in your hand by doing a perfect catch, allowing you to throw another tangle, and there go the gameplay loop with this build. And then of course, if I don't hit a tangle with my threaded spike and it gets back to my hand and I just grab it, I'll get 75% of my melee energy back basically. So you can spam your melee pretty frequently in this build. We're rocking Devil's Ruin in this build as our solar weapon. Devil's Ruin have got reworked. So now, as y'all seen with the opening footage, Devil's Ruin can no longer be used as like a laser whenever you want now. You have to pick up a fire sprite in order to use the laser form. But don't worry, you don't have to do a solar build to achieve that. Devil's Ruin make his own fire sprite whenever you kill somebody. And when you pick it up, all you gotta do is hold the reload button. It turns to a laser. And any enemy that you kill with that laser does an ignition. And any enemy that get hit by it gets scorched. So it's a very strong weapon in PvE now. Very, very busted weapon. And of course, it still got its unstoppable perk to it as well. So it flinches enemies. Now, this build is insane. I gotta go through every piece of it one by one as usual. But I got y'all. So, we rocking Mint Retrograde as our special weapon. It's a strong Strand pulse rifle from the season. If you're wondering how to get it, play Pinnacle Portal, and it's a random drop. Just keep playing it and wait for the weapon to drop for you, basically. The guide roll you want for this is Hatchling and whatever you want, to be honest. You just want Hatchling in the first slot. Some people want reround rounds. I just don't believe you need reround round. So definitely go Hatchling in the first slot, and then second slot you go whatever you want, whether it's Chain Reaction or Master of Arms or whatever it may be, right? Those are two weapons you want in this build. Devil Ruin, Mint Retrograde, and they both feature weapons, so they both do bonus damage in this season. Okay, let's go in our subclass. You want to be rocking Gambler's Dodge, so whenever you use your Shade Step, you get your threaded spike back, so you can keep spamming threaded spike as much as you want to hit the tangles and kill enemies and sever them as well, making the enemy do less damage to you as well. Rocking Shackle Grenade, we want to suspend enemies in this build. If you're wondering, why do we want to suspend enemies? Why don't we want to use Grapple Grenade? First of all, we're not getting our melee, we're not getting our Wolf and Mail with the grapple in this build because it's just pure Strand. We're not rocking Sickness Racking Helmet, so yeah. But Devil's Ruin is bugged right now. It's a cool bug though, insane bug, so you know, abuse it while you can. Now I told you guys, Devil's Ruin only pulls the Scorch and do ignitions in the laser form. But for some reason, it's like a hidden buff. Hopefully Bungie add this in the game purposely, and it's just something we got to figure out. I hope it's not a bug. If it is, Bungie, please put it in the game. This is very cool. When you shoot Devil's Ruin at an enemy that is suspended, it automatically does scorch damage and ignite them without you have to do the laser form. As y'all can see, I'm just shooting and ignitions happen. That's why it was doing insane damage to that subject. Oh my god, that wizard going crazy right now. So we're purposely stacking Devil's Ruin in this build as a Strand, Strand solar build with suspension. So we're spamming Shackle Grenade. We're using a Snaring Slam in this build. A Snaring Slam is basically a hunter can jump in the air, press circle, slam on the ground, and it automatically suspend all the enemies in that area. And whenever you do your suspending slam, a Snaring Slam, it does activate Gambler's Dodge, so you will get your 30 spike from doing that. So it does not mess up your gameplay loop of making whirling maelstroms, aka Russian shurikens, in this build. So that's what you're rocking. If you're doing harder end content, you 100% have to put on Threaded Spectre. No debating, okay? You need to put out clones so that the enemies get confused, because at the end of the day, Strand don't have that great survivability because of Bungie nerfing the fragment that gives us Woven Mail. It's only stay on for 5 seconds. That's not long enough for hard end content. So you will need Threaded Spectre if you want to use this in harder end content like Mythic, okay? And then you'll just reel off your grenades and artifacts to suspend people. Now, we got Thread of Mind on. So whenever you kill suspended enemies, you get class ability back, energy back. So you can just keep doing a snare slam, kill those enemies you just suspended. You have your class ability back again, and you can do a snare slam again. It's a great gameplay loop. We got on Thread of Fury. Basically, anytime our tangles are doing damage to enemies, we get melee energy, and that does count for Whirling Maelstrom. So every time you're doing tick damage while spinning on enemies, you'll get 2 seconds of Thread of Fury on, making your melee energy go up quicker, making you get your Threaded Spike back quicker to make it an infinite gameplay loop. So you will be getting your melee back and your class ability back non-stop in this build. The only thing you ain't getting non-stop is your grenade, okay? We got on Strand of Rebirth, where basically whenever we get Strand weapon kills, we make a threat lane. So if you don't have Hashling on your Mint Retrograde, you want to have this fragment on. If you don't care about threat lanes, then 100%, without a doubt, put on Strand of Generation. Where's that? Strand of Generation. So when you're dealing damage, you get your grenade back quicker for your shackle grenade. So your abilities uptime for everything is on in this build. And then we got Thread of Warding. So when we pick up overpower, we get Woven Mail. You know, try to get it when we can get it, right? If you do care about threat lanes, and you do have Hashling on your Mint Retrograde, then you can take off Thread of Generation and put on Thread of Evolution, so that your threadlings are doing way more damage, 33% more damage, and killing enemies. So it's really good end of the day. Up to you if you care about threadlings or not. I don't care about threadlings, so I'll be put on Thread of Generation to get my shackle grenade quicker. But yeah. Now, artifact. Very important in artifact. We are rocking the sidearm, but it already does unstoppable, so it doesn't matter. We got anti-barrier pulse rifle on for our pulse rifle, so you will be dealing with every champion in this build except overloads. That's the only thing you won't have anything for in this build, unless you rock a heavy that can do it for you in some type of way. I don't know how, but yeah. You want to be rocking the Flame Fiber and Freeze artifact perks, so you can have the Solar and Strand Siphon mod in your helmet. You want to make sure you're rocking tightly woven, so that when you have Woven Mail on, you get bonus class ability and grenade stats, plus 20 for both. Whenever you pick up Orb Power, you have Woven Mail on. So abuse that, get that plus 20 class ability and grenade stat. We're rocking Fever and Chill, so whenever we're getting solar weapon precision hits, we'll get Radiant on in this build, getting that extra 20% extra damage. You want to make sure you're rocking Reciprocal Draw, so when you are getting pulse rifle kills with the rocket pulse rifle, when you pull your sidearm back out, you will get an extra, I think it's 20%, 30% extra damage for your sidearm. I'll double check, but you get extra damage with your sidearm. I believe it's 20%. Threaded Blast on, so when you are destroying these tangles with our Threaded Spike, it does a bigger explosion, which is amazing, more damage, right? We got on Cataract Darkness. This is the main important thing in this build. Whenever an enemy is debuffed by a Darkness subclass debuff, solar damage does 30% more damage. 30%. So anytime we suspend an enemy or sever an enemy in this build or unravel them, we're going to be doing all three. Our Devil's Ruin is going to be doing more damage. Our Ignition is going to be doing more damage. And our Scorch is going to be doing more damage. So that's why you saw I did that much damage to a Subjugator, because of Cataract Darkness being on, give me that extra 30%. And then, of course, Radiant being on for us getting precision shots with Devil's Ruin. And then, of course, we got on 100 weapon stat. And we got on Solar Surges in this build. And then, of course, we got on Reciprocal Draw as well if we get a kill with our Pulse Rifle or something like that before we pull out sidearm. Devil's Ruin is doing insane damage in this build. That's basically what I'm saying. And the last column, you'll make sure you have on Elemental Overdrive. Whenever you pick up an Elemental Pickup or Tangle, it grants increased damage to the weapon of the same element. So whenever we pick up a Fire Sprite, which you're going to be always doing with Devil's Ruin because it makes its own Fire Sprites, you're going to get a 10% damage buff with Elemental Overdrive. Again, Devil's Ruin is going to be doing the same damage in this build. We got Tangle Web on. So whenever we create a tangle, it suspends all the enemies in the area. It does a pulse wave that suspends all the enemies in that area so that we can kill them with Devil's Ruin, call the Initiative Scorch, and get class ability energy from doing that. So it's a lot of suspending in this build. If you don't want to have Elemental Overdrive on because you feel like it's not enough damage buff, then by all means you can put on Radiant Shrapnel to do even more AoE damage in this build. So whenever we do have Radiant on, it'll make some fire Moltars that'll go out and hit enemies doing Scorch and explosions on them. Stack that with Unraveling from the Tangle, spinning on them and stuff, doing sustained damage while we have Radiant on. You will see a lot of the solar fire going on. Up to you, dealer's choice. I chose Elemental Overdrive so that Devil's Ruin to get that extra 10% every time I pick up a Fire Sprite and do some insane damage. That's what I chose. But you can go from between one or the other. Okay? Now, stats. You want to make sure you have 100 weapon always. 100% always 100 weapon stat. If you go above that, that's up to you. But you got to have at least 100 so that at least you're doing 15% extra damage to minors and majors in hardened content. You can make it higher if you're trying to have more damage toward bosses. So you can go for 200 for more damage for bosses. Or you want more ammo if you're rocking a double special build. But we ain't rocking double special here, so you only need 100 in this build. Minimal, okay? You want to have 100 class ability in this build. I highly recommend go for 200 if you can. Found another bug that need to be, spread to Bungie. Spread some awareness around it. I got 156 class ability stat. And as you know, if you got above 100 class ability stat, you get an overshield whenever you pop your class ability. Right? You get an overshield. For some reason, on Strand, a Snaring Slam is not being counted as using my class ability to get a health back. No health overshield at all from me doing that. A Snaring Slam does work with Reaper and stuff, so I know it's supposed to be working, just like Ascension, because we're using our class ability. But for some reason, we're not getting the overshield from using our class ability, a Snaring Slam, with our class ability stat. So spread the word, let Bungie know it's a bug that need to be fixed. I know it's not intended, it works for our mods and stuff. So yeah, spread the word, spread the word. And then of course, you need at least 70 melee stat, at least 70, okay? Just so that you can get your 30 spike back automatically when you use your class ability. Other than that, that's what you want. 70 melee, 100 weapon, 200 class ability. That's what you want in this build when you get the perfect armor setup and stuff for this, okay? Mods. In your helmet, you want to have on the Solar Strand dual siphon, like I said, so that you make orbs with your solar kills and your Strand weapon kills. Your special ammo finder, you want one for your Strand pulse, rocket pulse rifle you got on. RMPs, you want to have on focusing strikes, so when you use your power melee, your 30 spike, you get some class ability energy back, and the same thing for impact reduction, you get some grenade energy back from using your power melee, which we're going to be spamming a lot. I got no grenade font in my RMP to give me plus 20, so my grenade come back a little bit quicker because I don't have that much stats poured into that. Chest piece, you want to rock reserve your resist mods, melee damage resistance when you're doing a Snaring Slam, so you don't die when you surround it. Solar resistance is up to you, whatever you're doing, whatever activity you're doing at that moment. And then you got solar ammo generation, so whenever you get solar weapon kills, it'll build up your special ammo bar quicker and your heavy ammo bar quicker. We got Devil's Ruin on, so you're gonna be doing that a lot. Lead piece, solar weapon surge for Devil's Ruin, and then Strand weapon surge for the rocket pulse rifle. If you feel like you ain't really using the rocket pulse rifle, you can definitely go double solar surge just to make Devil's Ruin even more cracked. All up to you, and of course a better already mod. Class item, Reaper. We're gonna be doing a Snaring Slam, mob with that orb power whenever we do it, so we kill enemies and get an orb power on the ground. Distribution, we will be surrounded doing a Snaring Slam in a group of enemies, so you might get that class ability energy for all your abilities whenever you do that. And then we got Bomber on, so whenever we use it, we get some ability energy for our Shackle Grenade. That's the whole build. This build is amazing. It's fun. Your heavy can build whatever you want. I highly recommend a solar heavy weapon, so you can abuse the Cataract's Darkness artifact perk for extra damage. But yeah, you want to have Devil Ruin and Mint Retrograde. This is the build. It's amazing. Go have fun. You can use it in hardened content, normal content, all content, okay? It's amazing. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. And until next time, stay up.